It is Motivation Monday, October 14th, and today makes 22 days until election. Make sure you guys are registered to vote. If you are not, I need you guys to go right now and check your voter registration because they are purging voters off the rolls. I need you guys to get out here so that we can help Madam Vice President Kamala Harris win this election. This is one election that I've never seen the stakes so high. It is a lot on the line in this upcoming election. And I must start the show off by, before we welcome my very special guest today, he's back for his second interview, I want to get into what's been going on these past few days as far as the election cycle. Now, here's breaking news. Trump just told Fox News that Americans who don't support him are enemies and says that they may need to be handled by the military. This is what's at stake. This man just threatened all of us, the American people, with the military. Now, if that shouldn't send shivers down your spine, I don't know what else to tell you. This man is trying to be a dictator. And I am pleading right now with black men because we only have one present choice. When you go to that ballot box, there is no Control, Alt, or Delete. You cannot erase your vote. So, one vote for this man, and that is over with for democracy. The scary part about this election is it is also so close. And I need you guys, if you are not registered, go to iwillvote.org, iwillvote.com, or vote.org and register to vote right now if you have not. Again, we are facing fascism in real time. And it is important that we continue to keep bringing awareness to Trump's Project 2025. It would ban the National Weather Service. It would get rid of FEMA, how FEMA is helping people during this hurricane. It would indeed get rid of the programs and protections that we need in the workplace, as well as if a natural disaster strikes. I need you guys to get serious because this election is going to be close to the very end. And it is important that if you are not registered to vote, please do so right now and elect Democrat up and down the ballot. I want to critique one more thing before I add my very special guest. Mitt Romney says that he wants to change the Republican Party. The Republican Party is already what it is. There is no changing or reshaping the Republican Party for what it is. So, in order to get the Republican Party back, in order to get the Libertarian or Independent Party back, there's only one choice, and it's Kamala Harris. Now, they can fix the problems within their structure of their party, and also, update your address. Make sure you're not purged off of the rolls because they are purging voters off of the rolls. You might have to re-register. Down here in Bamberg, South Carolina, the deadline for registration is today. Now, early voting begins next week, October 21st. So when I go to the polls, me and my mother will be casting our ballot for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States. Again, the election stakes cannot be even higher. We are facing a dictatorship. And it is two clear present choices. There are no both parties, no. And now this third attempt, breaking news, third attempt on Trump's life. Yes, you heard me right, third attempt. I need you guys to get out here and get smart. There is no time for the bullshit, no time for the games, because this means that if you vote for him, you don't care about me as a black woman sitting here on the screen giving you guys the information that you need. Or you don't care about your mother, you don't care about your sister, you don't care about your daughters. This election is solely for women and our bodies being on the line. Women are bleeding out in parking lots. So if you are in Florida, I need you to click yes on Amendment 4. Vote yes. Vote Democrat up and down the fucking ballot. And that goes for everybody. Because our freedom and our livelihood depend on it. Do I need to read that statement again for anybody in case you missed it before I add Eugene? Okay. Trump just told Fox News that Americans who don't support him are enemies. This is breaking news. And he says that they may need to be handled by the military. So he is going to weaponize the military to go after any one of us. I need you all to pay attention. Share my live video because you're not going to get independent journalism or anything from anywhere else from anybody. This is serious. There's only one clear present choice of who's fit to be president, and it is Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. And she is coming out with a plan to help black men as well, too, because may God forbid if something happens to you or if you get pulled over by the police, you will have no protection. Y'all have seen Turkey, Hungary, Russia, and China, right? Do y'all know what it would look like for black people? Do I need to take y'all all the way back to Germany, the 1930s? It's time to be smart. We have 22 days left, and there's only one clear present choice, Kamala Harris. Vote Harris Walls up and down the ballot. All right. So I see y'all are all coming in. Welcome in, Fashion Dolls, to the Dollhouse. Let's get right into today's show. Are y'all ready? Today's special guest has been on shows such as Chicago PD and so much more, and he is back for his second interview with me here in the Dollhouse. Without further ado, Fashion Dolls, let's welcome back to the Dollhouse, Eugene Bracy. And I thank y'all so much for the comments on the look today. I thank y'all. It's long. It is very, very long. So, did y'all enjoy that interview with Shades last week? I hope you guys went it out. Definitely go and check it out in case you missed it. Wait.
There we go.
Here we are. Now we can see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. How are you doing? Thank you, Nolly. Thank y'all. You look gorgeous today. Thank y'all. Y'all like the orange and the blonde? Thank y'all so much. Again, I had to come back with a bang for the fall winter season. We are now in the fall months, and when we did our very first interview, I want to say it was the summer months of this year.
Right, spring, summer, because it was April.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you know, fall is my favorite season. You know, my birthday's in 2 days.
So we both share a birthday this month. Mine's is on Halloween. My mom just had hers, and you have a birthday as well too. So I'm excited.
I'm excited. Yeah, I am excited. It's been very chill. I've taken a week off work, so yesterday I went to an AKA event, and the Crucial Conflict performed. You know, they're the popular group in the '90s, so it was nice seeing them. They did really good. I met up with some friends the other day. My twin friends from high school. We went to Cooper's Hawk. It was really nice. So it's pretty a chill birthday. I just ordered a birthday cake. I'm getting a birthday cake in 2 days. So my friend, another high school friend, is a cake boss. So I'm getting a strawberry red velvet cheesecake done. Now I get an atomic cake every year. I mean, like atomic cake since I was like 18. So I wanted to switch it up for year 39.
Welcome to Club 30. For anybody, if you're joining Club 30, let me tell you, it is a breeze. When I turned 30 last October 31st, I was scared. But now I'll be 31. It's just like a breeze for me. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
The 30s are amazing. I'm just about out of my 30s, but I had a blast. They go by fast, so just take every milestone, every step. Just take it and all the mistakes, all the good stuff. Yeah, just take it with stride. It's gonna be a nice one, hell of a ride.
Yes,
it is.
Yes. I see you, Naptown and Nolly. I see y'all. I was so engaged in trying to give y'all what was going on before I had to open the show.
Okay.
Oh, I'm over here in Club OMG, I'm old. We take naps. Listen, when you get in your 30s, it's like a different milestone. You're in a different part of life, and a light goes off. And you start to see things shift. You wouldn't necessarily see them the way you would in your 20s, but in your 30s, it's just like, yeah, whatever comes, comes. So I'm excited. I'm an auntie now, and excited to be able to take back reins and control of not having to worry about, okay, can I stay 20 forever? That was what I thought. I could stay 20 forever, but I'm just like, no, that's not realistic. So you have to embrace your 30s, embrace 30. So to anybody that is joining Club 30, we welcome.
And then you got your grind game is on like as soon as you hit 30, because you have like fun and freedom in your 20s, but you want to try to establish yourself in your 30s, and so a lot want that goal to be established by the time you're 40 and you can like chill a little more. But like, yeah, grind game be on because I I had to take a transition. I got tired of waiting tables, so I was like, I gotta go back to school. And acting is my number one thing, but I had to go back to school and get some money and save money. I wanted to get my own place, because I was staying with my mom for a while. So it was like at the beginning of my 30s, it was definitely a big career change. So I went from waiting tables into the medical field. So I need a second career, and you just gotta really get your grind on and stack. It's all about stacking your paper in your 30s too. A lot of people been are first time home owners in their 30s. So I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. But I've came across a lot of people, especially in high school, who bought their first homes in their 30s. Big milestone, big leaps in your 30s. It's beautiful milestones.
Yes. And when you get in your 30s, it goes back to what Eugene just said, which is priorities. Like you start to see things. Your parents will say, well, when it's your time to pay bills, our parents would always tell us that when it's your time to pay bills or your time to have your own home or do this, you'll see what I'm saying. You see where I'm hurting. So
Yeah.
now we actually see it in real time. So to anybody out there who's a first time home owner in their 30s or starting a family, whatever that may be, yeah, you're gonna see what your parents are literally saying. Because my mom has told me plenty of times, you'll see what I'm saying as you get older. And now I actually see it as
Yeah, and when we
responsibility.
kids, we want to get grown so fast. We were like, I can't wait till I get grown, and then you look back and be like, oh, I wish I could go back to being a kid again because all this responsibility, it is more and more bills and responsibilities and everything, especially when you start getting student loans.
That, the electric bill, car note, all of these things you have to start paying. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
And I'm glad that my car note will be paid off by next Christmas. I'm so excited. I'm gonna hang on to my car. I'm gonna hang on to Kiki for 3 more years. After that car is paid off, then I'll
That's what we got to
trade it in.
do. Wait
Yes.
till Don't LOL. Don't wait till your 30s to have babies. Do it early. Accidental naps are my favorite. Listen, Nolly, you must be my minds because that is something you do in your 30s. You just like you want to start going. You notice yourself wanting to start going to bed early, and for me, I try to stay up at 11 o'clock the max to watch. I've been watching a lot of horror films with this crazy election cycle. I know I typically wouldn't do it, but I said I just need something. I need something. I need an escape.
Oh my.
So horror films back to back to back to back to back to back to back for me. I mean Pinhead,
Yeah, you gotta
Scream.
tell me.
So
Oh,
I mean,
Pinhead. Okay.
and I try
Well,
to
who else?
stay awake at 11, but I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut it off here at like 9:39 or at least close, and then I get up the next day prepared to come on and do the show for you guys. And
That's funny. Why horror films, like, particularly to get you through it? Like most females
I
do not
mean,
like horror films. What makes what makes it that for you? Because I love horror films too.
the the man that looks like a jack-o'-lantern and he's the color of my dress that I'm wearing today gives me a scare. So I need something to just kind of give me a focus off of that for a little bit. Because
Yes.
this lately, my shows lately have been very political, and I try to give people an escape. I give people fashion and then dive back into what's going on in the government and politics. But yeah, I need something to really give me that escape. I typically will binge watch old episodes of Atlanta Housewives. That was my
Okay.
guilty pleasure. I would religiously Bravo every night, every Sunday at 9. Y'all know the time. Y'all know exactly what time it is. And if you're in Atlanta, it would be a different time as well too. But that would be my getaway from talking all things politics and what's going on in the world, the climate, everything. So horror films, and then it's the perfect time. It's spooky season.
Oh
Before y'all
yeah.
like,
You
you
know,
said you
I'm.
wasn't watching these movies. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm going to see Terrifier 3 after I get off the phone, off the live with you. You know, with Art the
There
Clown.
is yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that because there is a Smile 2. Now I've heard things about Smile 1, and
Yeah.
I
So.
took on and started doing the trend. What you about to say? I'm sorry.
No, I saw it. I really wasn't. I didn't really care for Smile. It was kind of a slow burner. You know, slow burners are okay sometimes because it's all about character development. But I don't know, it was a little too slow for me, and the ending was kind of underwhelming. This one looks better, but I don't know if I want to pay. I'm kind of picky of where I go to the movies to see. But I'm like, it's my birthday. I might as well go see Terrifier 3, even though the second one was over the top gory. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, that's the type of film it is. But Smile was like, let you know if you wanted to watch the first one. It's a little slow.
Yeah, and the second one just seen the trailer not too long ago while I was in here getting ready for our show, getting prepped and everything. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
we will all gather our people and move to the San Juan Islands if Ish goes to hell. Listen, let me attest to that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people understand how dictatorship works. A dictatorship will affect and impact the entire world. There is no running from it. So if this man gets in office and he says you can't travel no more, you can't travel no more. Especially as I said in the beginning, opening up the show for women, this election clearly has been the tipping point has been focused mostly on a woman's right to choose. So I think women will definitely have the impact and outcome of this election because I asked the ladies a question, what was it, not too long ago. I said, women, do you feel comfortable with a man telling you what to do with your body? And a lot of women said no. They don't want that. Nobody wants a dictatorship. So a
No.
dictatorship, you can't travel. He's going to ban pornography. A lot of adult film stars and OF creators are pretty upset about that. I've seen some posts. I can't share
Why is he
the
exactly?
receipts, but
Why is he holding off on adult content? Well, I mean, I'm not sure. Did he say
they want
why?
Project 2025. For those of you who do not know, it will basically ban pornography. And the reason why they're doing that is because they want to say that, oh, this is not a part of the white Christian, because it's white Christian nationalism. And y'all
Mm.
see how that works. They say he uses certain words. He'll say, oh, well, it's impure. Or, what did he say? The Jews, he went after Jews. He went after Latinos. He went after Muslims. He went after men. Any marginalized group that has brown or a shade of brown in their skin, like this screen you guys see here today,
Mm.
he gonna go after. So that's what I was trying to tell you. He's gonna weaponize the military. He can come after me. He can go after Eugene. He can go after anybody who critiques him.
Well, yeah, when
That's something a
you said that was scary. That was scary. Yeah.
and it's not a fear tactic, y'all. A lot of people are saying, "Well, Miss Stevie, it's a fear." No, 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 baby. Go back to Nazi Germany back in the 1930s with Adolf Hitler. The same rhetoric that he is using is fascist rhetoric.
Mm.
What did Hitler say? There's poison, the Jews are poisoning, or the Haitians, all sorts of things. This is
Yeah.
stuff that fascists would say.
Yeah.
So
It's like Hitler 2.0 all over. Yeah,
that's
it is.
JD Vance said, yeah, Hitler 2.0. He was right about that. He is Hitler 2.0. And here's some more to y'all. I hate to get political. Yeah, Nolly, you brought it out of me. But uh his wife, Yvonne, if you go back and watch this documentary called Unfit, Bombshell, Yvonne, when they divorced, she said that he used to listen to Hitler's speeches.
Oh,
So tell me he hadn't learned fascist language from someone. Why isn't he wanting to release his medical records when she released hers? That should tell you everything right there. What do you think
yeah.
he's going to do with God? Oh, let me touch on that, Nolly. Oh, he ain't going to do nothing about it. He told Putin, do whatever the hell you want. And to anybody out there thinking that he is going to help Gaza or Palestine, y'all think that voting for Jill Stein, let me tell y'all something. Jill Stein has connections to Trump too.
Mm.
And it's not a both parties thing. No, no. And she literally has 1% of the polls right now. She's not going to win. So relax. No need to worry. She's not going to win. It's two clear choices: dictatorship or democracy. And I'm pretty sure, as a woman, let me tell you something. You wouldn't want anybody having the right to monitor your pregnancy, to monitor what you do with your abortion, any of that. You wouldn't want that. That's like taking a look inside my bedroom.
Yeah.
I give you an example. Say, for instance, I was dating a guy or whatever. The government would have that microscope inside my bedroom. You'd want to know what I'm doing with my body. My body is my choice. You have no say so over my body. Yep, they sure did. And that's another thing, Nolly. How they blocked when I reported about him banning the National Weather Service and FEMA. That is what he would do.
Wow.
No, I wouldn't want the government monitoring what I'm doing intimately in the bedroom with my significant other.
Mm-mm.
Or having to register my biological female friends are having to register their pregnancies and abortions with the government with JD Vance. Is that what y'all want? And to the men out here that are saying, well, some black men, it's not all of them, saying I won't just vote for her. We don't want you to vote for her because she's black or a woman. Vote for her because she's going to do the right thing. Sure did. And it's the disinformation and the misinformation out here. A man literally turned down relief efforts in North Carolina, all because he listened to the lies and disinformation that this man said. So how do you think he's going to handle the economy? Do you have Pulitzer Prize-winning economists that are saying that his plan would not be good? Y'all remember the Great Depression? Y'all remember what that was like?
Well, and we already went through COVID, and we still are going through COVID. So no telling what type of outbreak is going to be in these next 4 years, because like we did not even expect that. I think the upside about COVID is like we got a chance to actually, a lot of us have been very busy. We're always active, and we were able to sit down with our families. We were able to sit down and think of our next plan. As far as us being artists, we were very able to be creative, and our creative juices was flowing. But that was a difficult time. I had a patient that said him and his mom was in the ICU. They was in intensive care together, and she ended up passing away. And he's still affected by that. He was on a liter of oxygen, and this happened to him in what, 2021. He lost his mom. He almost lost his life, and he's still on. So he has long COVID, and it's still affecting his
Long
lungs.
term.
He can't talk. Yeah, he can't talk that well or anything. He's moving real slow. His thinking is foggy, he says, because it took him like a good 45 minutes to complete the paperwork that I gave him. So the fact that, COVID affects people differently, it's like no telling what type of, well, in Jesus' name, hopefully we'll not get another outbreak like COVID, but no telling with this man what we're gonna get these next, if he gets in office the next 4 years.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Y'all already know that he sent tests to Vladimir Putin when we needed tests. Y'all remember what it was like? Defibrillators? And you're listening to Eugene, someone who's worked alongside patients. He told us to inject ourselves with bleach. So if you don't know what the Germany looked like back then, allow me to refresh y'all's memory. These are children placed in concentration camps. So when he says round them up on day one, who do you think he's going to go after? Anybody who has a shade of what? Brown in their skin.
Yeah, any minority.
So when he says take back when you hear things like, oh, it's blood and soil, or it's poison in here, those are buzzwords for white supremacists. We are living in some dangerous and scary times. And there is only one clear choice, and I want y'all all to let that sink in. Oh, I'm not done yet. I got more photos to show y'all.
Oh,
These are
yeah.
not concentration camps.
I remember seeing that movie Schindler's List when I was a kid. Did you ever see that?
Yes. And
it's been a long time.
Do we want to go back to that? Do we want to go back to that, y'all?
What?
I don't think we want.
Oh, no, yes. No.
Another 4 years of that. people were bone stick thin back in Nazi Germany. You could see their bones. You could see their ribs. They died of starvation. What do you think Trump would do? He would let us die. Healthcare in this country is important. And I'm begging and pleading with black men, we need you more than ever. We need you. I'm not going to talk down to you or chastise you, but we need you more than ever. You don't have to vote for her because she's black. You don't have to vote for her because she's a woman. We need you to put your pride to the side and save democracy. If you're raising daughters, let me tell you something. Cedric the Entertainer, I've never really seen him really get out here and get political, but he said, I'm a girl dad. You got Bryan Cranston. You got Stevie Wonder who's on board. All of the A-list names in Hollywood. That should tell you something. And who does he have? Who's using Twitter and X to rig it to help him win the election. It is now a right-wing, white nationalist propaganda machine. And that is Elon Musk. That is an oligarch. Because if you're willing to spend that much money to help someone maintain power, which is what we see from the Republican Party, that's what it is, y'all. So that's what's at stake. This is serious. So countless sleepless nights I've had them. I don't look like I don't look like what I've been through and what I've been going through behind the scenes, but this election cycle has been driving me crazy. I don't understand how the polls are so close, but it's all going to fall down on the battleground states. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, North Carolina, Georgia. It's all going to depend on a massive turnout. We need her to get those numbers. And I'm in South Carolina, and I think you only get 9 electoral votes, if I'm not mistaken. You don't get a whole lot. This is not a battleground state where I'm at. But if you're in a battleground state, baby, Florida is ready. They got the golf carts out. They are ready. They are ready. And I love to see the enthusiasm. But I'm terrified. I'm not going to lie. As someone who hosts a platform, and I'm in the limelight, I'm the center focus. He could come after me and you guys would never see me again. I'd be either executed or placed in prison if we were in another country for giving you guys the truth. That's how dangerous it is. And that's not a fear tactic. That's real. That's how dictators operate. And then we would have Vladimir Putin bring flowers to my funeral. No joke. I've seen it. If you've watched the Unfit documentary, you know how Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin operate. Not voting is not an option under a dictatorship. And it would be an illegitimate thing where the dictator would win all the time. It would be 46 or 96 to 2, one of the two.
And it just seems scarier to tell the truth these days because you get canceled so fast. It's getting even worse to tell the truth.
The First Amendment right, he said he would do away with the Constitution. So to how we're speaking freely right now, he would indeed come after any one of us. That's what Kerry Washington was trying to tell us. So when this man speaks, believe him, y'all. All of us, black, white, everybody, we are all in grave danger right now. And let this be my warning. If I don't, make it to see this election, or if something happened to me, God forbid, well, I don't think I'm on his target list, because he does have a list of people he will go after. And he's already, I can give you an example. He'll go after Jimmy Kimmel. He's already said he wanted to do it. Go after George Clooney. Go after Stephen Colbert. Go after Seth Meyers, any of the late night talk show hosts. He even attacked the women of The View not too long ago. He went after Whoopi Goldberg. He went after Sunny Hostin. He called them dumb women. Why is it that whenever he stoops to a racist attack, it's black women or black people that he calls dumb? When we are the highest of highest earning degrees in this country, we are the most who spend the most to go to college, to get degrees, to go after our passions and our dreams.
Yeah.
He did it to LeBron James. He did it to Don Lemon. He did it to Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. So this is what's at stake. We are literally fighting for freedom. Again, this could be contested because if it goes to the Supreme Court, guess what could happen? We already know that the majority of the Supreme Court is ran by Republican. And I think that if she wins, that whole entire Supreme Court, except for the 3 Democrats that are on the board, The rest of the MAGA nuts, they need to be pulled out. They need to be pulled out and regrouped. In order for, if you want the Republican Party to be able to go back to what it used to be, where it was Bush and Mitt Romney, then you're going to have to do away with MAGA. He's came in and he's taken over y'all's party to the Republicans out there. We're begging and pleading with you to come out and do the right thing. Because you see what happened to Homegirl. She's facing 9 years in prison right now. Tina Peters, y'all see her? They handcuffed her right in that restaurant. And then she got up there and that judge chewed her up. This is what happens if you decide to break the rule of law in this country. So again, a lot is at stake in this election. Be smart with your vote because elections have consequences. Votes have consequences. Whoever you vote for, you can't take it back. If you vote for the wrong person, you can't take that vote back. If you vote for him, you can't take it back.
My God.
So to the men out here, the black men that watch my platform, we need you more than ever. And there is only one clear choice. If you care about black women, if you care about your sisters, your mothers, your daughters, your nieces, your grandmothers, your mother-in-laws, then you would vote for Kamala Harris. Trump would let women die. And we've already got 2 women, African-American women, that are dead because they are in states where it is a Trump-wide abortion ban. And that is Amber Nicole Thurman and Candy Miller. They're not here to tell their stories. They've left behind children. And I know the husbands are suffering as well too. So that's my plea to black men. We need you more than ever.
Absolutely.
And if you don't hear it from me, hear it from somebody else. Jason Tola, who I've had on my show, I posted his to the stories. You have black men out here. President Obama, some people didn't like his delivery to, where it's like, what's the problem? But he was right. What is the problem? We need you to put your pride to the side just for a moment and just help her push her over the finish line. Because she's doing what she needs to do. Where he's out here talking about fake news and Comrade Kamala. Does he even know what a comrade is?
Yeah, he's always having Twitter arguments and debates and stuff.
Social. He'll get on Truth Social and we'll hear about it the next morning, Eugene. I'm telling you, I'm like the crazy lady that needs to be put in a straitjacket at this point, because every time I turn on the news, I see him, I fast forward. I don't listen to anything he says. I can't listen to his voice. It's so irritating. This election cycle has been draining. We have less than 22 days. Again, black men, this is my plea. We need you. We need you. If you care about black women, if you care about us, we need you more than ever. Talk to your homeboys. You go into barbershops, pool halls, whatever you do. Talk to your homeboys whenever you guys sit down, football, whatever. Talk to your homeboys and what's at stake. Because when we say health care for all, that includes your health care too, black men. So we need you more than ever. It's not just women, but we need you. So again, elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and that's all I'm gonna say. I've endorsed it here on my platform. I'm not a big outlet like that, but I don't think he would come after me. But
right,
yet, I would say yet, he'd go after anybody who opposes him. That's what dictators do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put a cap in that right there, and I'm gonna leave it there. Again, black men, the choice is in your hands. We need you. Okay, we were talking about horror films. That's what we were talking about. We touched on turning 30. Now, you have some projects coming out too, Eugene. You have 2 short films coming out. And shout outs to my girl, Kendra Shanae. Make sure you guys please go and check her out. And she's going to be doing a girl talk with me actually sometime coming up next month. So it's going to be me as well as 5 other black women that are going to be on the panel. And we're going to have to rotate here on the gram. But yes, it's going to be healthy dialogue and conversation. So you guys will be able to tune in and see different women of color, different styles, different perspectives. I am bringing Girl Talk back. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And Kendra is going to be joining us on the panel. So
Right,
welcome and
Kendra.
introduce to yes, 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 yes. Now you have two projects, two shorts that are coming out. Now let's get
Yeah.
right into that. Let's get right into it.
Okay. Well, it's been a little different. Some things have changed since I talked to you in April. I know I was supposed to like come back on in July. There was a lot going on. I'm glad we had some little bit more time apart because it was a little slow. It's been a little slow this year. As far I had to lead it in a horror movie called Fear the Go-Birds, but that's kind of been pushed and on pause a little bit because the director's trying to get all the acts together, but everybody's schedule's kind of all over the place. And then he
Yeah.
also has other projects going on as well. So that's on hold. But as of August, I got cast in a show called Heart Six. It is being filmed here in Inglewood in Chicago. Director is Big Red, aka Brandy Martin. I met her the first time 4 years ago. It was during COVID. She was having like auditions where you send in your self tape. So I sent in my self tape. I think it went pretty well. I think it was put on pause because due to COVID, because there was a lot going on. I know that she lost some members in her family. A lot of stuff going on. So fast forward 4 years later, I was doing a fundraiser in August. We were trying to help a director save his studio in Chicago because it was going under. So one of the girls told me to go pick up Brandy Martin. Can you pick up Brandy Martin? She's a director, and she wants to help out. I was like, oh, this is perfect because I've been wanting to meet her for several years. So I went to pick her up, and then I was able to talk to her about, hey, I auditioned for you and everything 4 years ago. I'm glad that you're coming back together because she had a casting call recently, a couple of months before August. I want to say like June or not for Heart Six. I wasn't able to go because I had to work. But so my driving her to the fundraiser, she was like, "Oh, you locked in. We'll put you in." So I played George. So it takes place from 1996 to the 2000s. So I play the main character's father. So it's mostly flashback scenes, and I'm a business guy, you know, owner of a club. So I'm a businessman, a family man, and that's been fun. Recently, I just got cast as a lead in a film called The L Word. It's a short film called The L Word. It's not the same as the show that came on Showtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
This L Word stands for loss. So it's a kind of a morbid piece. My character has lost his mom, and he's dealing with the grieving process. And you know how you have people who always say sorry for your loss. They feel like they're programmed to say that, but how
Yeah.
it's not very helpful at all. And just the different phases that you go through when it comes to grief, and you're losing like the matriarch of your family. So that's gonna be a heavy piece. We have the table read will be this Saturday. So I'm excited to, and I've known the director for 10 years, and I've been trying to get into her films for 10 years. So she inboxed me, and she was like, I really want you for this role. I have you in mind for this. Just send me a self-tape. And so I went and gave her a self-tape. I went to my friend Fania did the self-tape. So shout out to Fania Bourne. She's a phenomenal actress. She did my self-tape. And about a few hours later, the director, Stephanie James, she was like, I really was impressed with your audition. And a lot of directors say like my interpretation of the character is a little different than what they expect, but they still like it. So y'all still like me enough to cast me, so I'm honored by that, and I can't wait. It's gonna be in festivals, so I'm not sure you're gonna like see it on like platforms like Prime or Tubi just yet, but she's gonna ship it around to different festivals. So I'm excited about that. I did recently just audition for The Shy for the role of I didn't get it, but that was like one of my first auditions in a while, and you just don't know, like being an actor, and when you see those C-mail notifications in your inbox, it's just life. And so, and then The Shy, they just wrapped the season 2, so
Yeah.
praying that maybe next season, because I already auditioned for them 6 times. Yes. But that doesn't really discourage me because I had a teacher. I think his name is Max Arseniga. I can't say his name right, but he said that he booked in CIS, but guess how many times it took him to audition? 76 until he got that final yes. And sometimes you get 100 no's before you get a yes. I mean, when I first graduated college, I had 10 no's, 10 unsuccessful auditions before I got booked in my first children's show. So sometimes it takes 76, it takes 100. Hopefully it won't take me that many times because I was already been 6 times for the Shy. But,
Yes.
before they have a final season, we're speaking into existence that I'll get on there. But my message is to you out there that's watching, don't give up. Keep staying persistent.
Absolutely.
Keep taking classes, you know?
Absolutely. And
Hmm.
that's to anybody who's wanting to go for a role out here. I mean, there's going to be a ton of people that's going to go for that same role, but you have to remember, don't give up. Keep going. And you said you're one person 76 times. That's crazy. You
Yes.
you got to do that in order to get where you need to be to that next step.
Hmm. Yeah,
Don't don't
there's one famous actor named Mark Ruffalo. He's been around for a long time. He said that when he started out, he had 100 no's before he got a yes. Now I can't even imagine that because after those 10 no's had took a toll on me, I was like, am I a good actor? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to rethink my career? You're gonna have all those thoughts in your head, but
questions.
my
Yes.
teacher my teacher taught me like you have to like leave it there. Once that audition's over, you gotta leave it there. You can't beat yourself up. You're gonna think about it. I tend to give myself about 2 minutes to think about it because you're human and you're gonna think, what could I have done better? But you should always do something nice for yourself. Like after an audition in college, I will always go to the student center and get some soft serve ice cream. And or you can take a walk. I used to always take a walk along on the street where the mansions were. Whether it's take a walk, knitting, watching horror films, whatever you do something good for yourself after audition. That's the key to unwinding. Or and I bet you would retail therapy definitely, shopping that helps.
Y'all know me so well. Y'all know I love to shop. So, and whether it's with the touch of my fingertip or actually going in the store, that is my outlet. Retail therapy for anybody. So you got to
Mhm.
find that outlet when you feel like you've been defeated. You know, don't give up. That's one thing she also said is that you can't give up. She eats no for breakfast. So you're gonna have 1,000 no's out here, no matter for what role or position that you are going for. Trust me, I've had people tell me no, no, not right now. When I've asked to be on other platforms as a host or whatever, so I said, you know what? This is just God leading me in the direction to say, hey, it is time for you to find your own voice. It's time for you to go and create your own platform. And that I did. Even I've had people doubt me and say, well, can she do it? Yes, I can. And I did.
Yeah.
We are now
18
in the,
seasons in, right? 18? Or is it 19
yes,
now?
we're in 18, still in
Okay.
18. So I'm
Hmm.
excited. I'm excited because it is so much more that I have in store that people haven't even seen yet. Guests that people don't even know who's coming on the next upcoming season or
Yes.
what's in store to come for this platform. It's great things. So it's all about not giving up. You're going to have 1,000 no's, but you got to keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
and
going. So,
you're doing a marvelous job. You're giving many of us platforms because, like, I never really was asked to do like interviews, not that much. So, like, to have you hit me up and everything. So, you're giving so many independent artists a beautiful platform to showcase and to tell their stories and to tell where they've been, where they're going, and to give like great, nurturing advice. So, kudos to you doing a wonderful job. 18 seasons in, that is just impressive. When you told me that
and
number the first time, I had no idea. I looked you up and I did research, but I was like, oh, I didn't know it was so many seasons. That's like so impressive.
so many interviews, Eugene. We are now almost at 700, y'all. We have been grinding. nonstop. When I tell y'all I do this platform every day, Monday through Friday, and some days I'll take off because the guest has canceled, and I understand that. But that next day after, I come right back, and as if I've never left. You guys stay tuned in and focused. And I've noticed a shift with this season that the viewership, people are engaged more. People are interacting, whereas before they were just like, we don't. They were. I guess they were kind of scared of me. I'm just like, you don't have to. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a nice person. I'm easy to talk to. I'm open to constructive criticism. Whereas the previous seasons, before I'd be ready to curse somebody out, I would be ready to
Oh.
fight. I just graduated out of high school. I was cocky. I was arrogant. I thought I knew it all. But again, it goes back to with age comes wisdom and growth. Now
Mm-hmm.
that I've went past 20, you guys grew up with me. Going from 20 to now, I'm about to be 31 years old this Halloween. You see the growth, you see the maturity. And even that's for anybody. You go through your career, you go through the highs and the lows, and you see your growth, your progression, and you age along as you go along in your career. So, yeah, not like that anymore. Now I'm just like, okay, let me take this constructive criticism. And I've been open to receive it. And the constructive criticism that I have taken has worked. It's molded me to be this great platform host. This
Yes.
people offer suggestions, and I even take suggestions from the viewers. The viewers will DM me and they say, "Hey, I think you need to have this person on your show. I think you need to have this person." They will literally DM me and tell me, who they think would be a great fit to come on and interview on the platform. And I said, "What would I interview the person about?" So they say, "A great artist, boom, boom, boom," and we go from there. So the viewers, you guys at home also have had a great input as well as to making every single interview and things happen. So thank y'all
And
so much. It's
can I
because of you guys.
recommend? Can I recommend? You should have Brandy Martin on your show. The director I was just telling you about, that directs Heart Six. When I tell you this story is going to be amazing, like, and it's based on her trauma, her childhood, her life story, the people she's loved and lost throughout her life. And she's amazing. She comes from a music background. She was managing artists and everything. And she's also been an actress herself, but now she's focusing on directing. I definitely think, she comes from Inglewood, Chicago. She's has a lot of stories to tell. So I definitely going to recommend, and I'll send you her info.
Definitely have her reach out to me, and that's what it's about. Again, that constructive criticism and being able to take suggestions from people. And my brother Scott Valentine has told me that as well too. You have to be willing and open to have a listening ear, because people are not here to hurt you. Where I would think the world was against me at one point, I'm just like, there actually are some good people out here that care genuinely, that are willing to help me out. So you can't shut those people out, the ones that are willing to help you. And that's what I've learned. So yes, I definitely will take it. I will receive it. I'd love to have her on. And I'm all about allowing people on to tell their stories, filmmakers as well as the actors. And I
Yeah.
tell y'all this all the time. When guests come on the show, I'm not the pilot. We rotate that pilot seat.
Hmm.
That guest gets in that pilot seat and they steer me in the direction they want me to go in. And then I rotate back because I'm the host of the show. I'm the creator of this platform. But we rotate. And when they're
Yeah, I get that vibe. I like
yeah,
it. I like
I let the guests tell their story. It's not my place to tell their story for them. It's everybody has their own individual story. So when they come on, they can say, okay, I want to tell this part of my life. I want to tell this part of my life. I want to start from beginning to end. And that's how I like to start. I start from beginning to end, because there's always a happy ending at the end of every rough beginning, or somebody's
it.
story could be different. Everybody's story is not going to be the same. So that's why I let my guests get in that pilot seat. And then when they tell their story, I get back in the pilot seat as well, too. And then I let them get back in the pilot seat so they can tell me how they feel. What are you feeling? How are you feeling today? How are you
Hmm.
doing? Are you okay? Those are things that matter to me, is getting to know the guests as well as their life and their story, because everybody's story could resonate with the viewers at home. And then after the interview, you get an outpouring of DMs from people saying, wow, we appreciate you for having this person on. I can relate wholeheartedly. And it'll just sometimes slip out in the comments. The audience will say, hey, I've been through this. I know what this guest is saying. So that's how deep and personal it is to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I want you all to take something away, not just the fun, the laughter, the fashion, the glitz, the glamour, all of that. I want you guys to take something away from it as well too. And I do it in a way where it's not boring people. I think I bore people.
No, we
I
played games and everything the last time.
Yeah,
Like,
I try to keep people on the
icebreaker.
edge of their seats, entertained and educated at the same time. So I want you guys to have fun because I know that learning certain things or learning new terms or just learning about the business, it can be boring. But
Yes.
trust me, I make it in a way where it's fun, where people get it. They get the gist of it. If not from me, then from my guests. Sometimes you'll see me sit back and just be quiet in certain cases because the guests will say things that I've already said. So
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. It's like the guests already read my mind, foreshadowing on what I'm gonna say or what I'm thinking, and they just come out and say it. And I'm just like,
I
well,
think
heck,
I think
I
we
don't
did
even
that
have
at
to
the
say
beginning
it.
of this. We did that at the beginning of this interview. I forgot exactly what it was, but you was like, you read my mind. Yes, we
Absolutely.
did that.
It was knowledge. She said something in the comments, and I said, you must be reading my mind. So they know, the audience, the viewers at home, they know, y'all know. So even the guests, they'll sometimes they'll reiterate what I have said. Or if not that, then they'll be like, I knew what you were thinking. I knew what you were thinking. And we'll say it at the same time in sync. And it's so funny. That has happened actually. I can't remember
Mm.
which interview to be exact, but and be like, I'm sorry, no, you go ahead. So, yeah, again, that connection, that human connection with your guests and anything, or just being told no, it's a part of life. It is definitely a part of life, but you don't let those obstacles and those hurdles stop you to get where you need to be in the next destination. It's
Right,
not going to be.
and what I learned this year was, I used to get discouraged on like, oh, why am I not working with this person? I've been trying to work with this director or producer for so long, but actually it was God's protection for you not to work with that particular person because you start hearing and seeing how they operate. And if you imagine if you would have been locked in and y'all really got into the thick of it, in the middle of this project, and it would have ended up bad. You ended up in court, or there's a really bad falling out. So it was actually God's protection. And then you're hearing from other people how that person treats their staff or whatnot. Because I think I might have touched on it last interview. I had wrote and produced a pilot that I was trying to get out, and just realizing and doing the audition process, realizing that you have a team that is not as passionate about it as you. Like if you ask them to do certain things, they don't do it, or they keep putting it off. Well, 9 times out of 10, you can't, not going to be able to work with that person because this is just the beginning phase. We're still looking for actors and stuff, and you're not holding up your end of the bargain. Imagine if we are like 3, 4 episodes in, like it'll be a disaster. It'll be hell on wheels. That was God's protection to get me out of that situation of working with this person before my name gets tarnished or there's a whole nasty, you know, battle. So it's God's protection. If that one door closes, it's not always a bad thing. It's God's protection from disaster.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's for anybody. That is for anybody out here. Sometimes you might not get it in that moment, but just know that God is protecting you from something. That's for anybody. My mom would tell me it could be not right now. It could be not in this moment, not in this minute. But you'll know when it's time. He'll let you know when it's time because he'll drop off little nuggets and signs there that it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
For anybody.
always follow your first mind. If something don't feel right, you gotta get out. Like if you gotta keep sitting down and getting second guessing about it, then 9 times out of 10 you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Absolutely. That gut intuition is nothing. Nothing to joke around with. It's real. It'll tell you. It'll tell you.
Hmm.
For
And
sure.
it's
So
hurtful because it took me like a year to write that. And like I feel like I'm not trying to be like cocky, but I feel like I'm sitting on greatness. I mean, I shocked myself with that pilot. I'm like, I can't believe I wrote this. And like after doing several revisions and getting rid of all the typos, like it's a really good piece. So I think it's probably best probably to change the character's name and stuff like that. Everybody was like, well, you can change the character's name since you both created the character. Change the character's name. I'm probably going to change it to a short film instead of a series, you know. But it's just about getting out there, starting from scratch. And I like writing. I love writing. It's actually therapeutic. And, you know, you know, I'm always like in front of the camera. That's where I'd rather be. But you know, the writing is great. And then I learned the role of being a producer. It actually was fun going out and scouting locations. Like it's kind of nerve wracking because sometimes you know you let people know in advance like, hey, I'm an independent filmmaker, so I don't really have a budget, but if you can let me use your space and I found a nice lady who's gonna let me use her bar, no cost. I just all you had to do was just like not use it during the hours of operation. So it would probably be a 7 a.m. shoot, but you know, from 7 and they open at 11. So like we got like 3.5 hours to film, but that would have been great, you know. So location scouting was pretty interesting and talking to different people. And I had friends that were going to let me use their apartments and houses and everything, but it all boils down to who you have on your team. Like y'all all have to gel together. So if the team ain't going right, it has to stop. But I learned a lot. Now I know what to expect and what of myself when I mean I still have things to learn because I actually didn't do it. But now I know like this is what you have to do as far as a producer: location scouting, getting all the actors ready, possibly providing them with meals, creating a call sheet. You know, that was it was very fun and interesting to learn that aspect. 'Cause my mom always wanted me to do behind the scenes stuff anyway, so and I got to kind of fulfill that, and I'm looking forward to fulfilling that in the future.
Absolutely. And it's going to be more and more to come. And back to what you said about writing, before we wrap, it is therapeutic because it's different from being in front of the lens.
Yeah,
Whereas now, you know, working on set from someone that is writing or directing the project, and then you're doing this on your own. So it's just like, okay, there is power in the pen. When you are the writer or the director of this project and you're doing it yourself, it's like, okay, it's unlimited creation.
right,
Unlimited
yeah,
creation. And I think it is important that people realize that writing's therapeutic, and you put out whatever you're feeling. I've interviewed so many writers here on this platform, and they would say I write from personal experience, things that I've
yeah.
seen, people I've seen within the community. So that's how important and powerful writing is, just that impact alone.
And the more vivid the better. Like I've had a couple people read that script and the one thing they always say is like, well, as I was reading it I could visualize everything that was going on, so I was like, okay, that's good. So I put just enough detail in there to take that reader on the journey. You know, I was all kind of nervous like it wouldn't be vivid enough, but like from what I was told from the three people that have read the script, that they were taken on a journey and it was very vivid. And the good advice is to get their attention in that opening scene. So when you're writing that first scene, you give them that good aha moment, and it'll grab the audience. So I made sure I did that, and the one person who gave me that advice when he read it, he was like, "That was one hell of a beginning." That's all I needed to know. The more vivid, the better, and have a kick-ass opening. That is one of two main great ingredients of having a successful screenplay or novel or a written piece of work. Period. To be vivid and
Absolutely.
to have a kick-ass opening. That's what
Absolutely.
I
And
thought.
that's how it should be. You start your story from beginning to end. Start from scratch. And you put all of the I tell people this all the time. When you are creating something, when I did the interview with Shades last week, the girl group, I said
Mm-hmm.
there's an element into everything. Girl group, whatever it may be. every girl group has their element. You have the spice, or I said it was the elements, the
Mm.
nature, earth,
Yeah.
wind, fire, water. The same
Hmm.
for writing. When you are creating this masterpiece, you're going to have to include all of those elements, all of those ingredients to make that story resonate with people. And the viewers at home will say, hey, I can resonate with this character, or probably know someone who's been through something. That's how it is.
Hmm. I agree. It's a beautiful process.
Absolutely. Writing for anybody who wants to get out here and write, direct, or produce their projects. Get out here and do it. There's so many courses and classes that you could take. Whereas, as Eugene mentioned, with the pandemic, we really couldn't do anything. It was more so self taping. You guys remember what it was like. Everything was
Hmm.
how we're doing it now, virtually. It wasn't in person. Whereas now we're able to go and audition in person and do these things.
And
So we can
actually,
say
an
we're
audition, in-person audition is not even happening as much anymore. Still, everything is mostly self-tapes. I haven't really had an in-person audition since like 2022. So they're not even doing in-person auditions as much. I mean, they're doing it a little more since, COVID let up, but it's not
yeah.
even that much. Everything is mostly self-tapes. And the one good thing is with self-tapes, you can always do them over, if you're not happy with them, whereas in an in-person audition, they may have you do it over one more time to try it differently, or if that you mess up, they may be nice enough for you to do it over, but in at home, you can do it over as many times as you want. It's just that with self tapes, it's so technical. You can't have too much head space. You got to be centered. Yeah, you got to be dressed like in person auditions, you got to be dressed a certain way. It's just very technical. That's the one thing I had to get used to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we close out this conversation, we hope you all took something away from this, Fashion Dolls. Eugene, what are some gems and nuggets that you would like to leave people during this crazy cycle that we're having? Everything in the world, actors, entertainers, creators. I would say, before I pass it on to Eugene, is do not get discouraged. Do not. And I'm gonna quote Nina Simone before I let Eugene take it over, and then I give you guys the final thought of the day. Um, the artist of job, the job of the artist is to reflect the times, and I say it all the time here. That's from Nina Simone. So our job as the host, as the creators, as the actors, as the thespians, whomever, uh, our job is to reflect what everyday people are going through, because it's so many people who have so many things in the world, who've lost so many people in their lives, their moms, their dads, tragedy. They've been through so much. And it's important that we reflect those things, because we've all have experienced some sort of pain in our lives. So it's important that we continue to keep letting the creativity show, and it resonates with American people, with everybody, because we've all experienced ups, downs, highs, and lows. And you see it in the project on the screen. You're just like, wow, I was just talking to my friend about this the other day. So that's us personal. But Eugene, any flowers or nuggets that you would give to anybody, writers and all, if you want to take it a bit from there?
I don't want to sound cliche. I just want to say, just don't give up on something that you think about every day. I've been that's been my motto since I was like 20 years old, since I was in college. I live, breathe acting and entertainment every single day. I think about it every single day. So I would say just do not give up on it. There's going to be and then don't take any shortcuts. It's okay to take that long, narrow path, and as long as you just and quality over quantity. You want to just do it until you get it right. So I will always encourage actors to keep taking classes. I haven't taken a class in a little over a year, so I'm due for another class at Acting Studio Chicago, Second City, whatever you do, and also read, and also go and see plays yourself. If on your downtime, on your free time, always go, and that's a way of studying your craft. Go see plays, of course movies, but definitely plays for sure. As far as writing, You may have writer's block at times, but I would just say if there's something on your mind, I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, if something, a light comes on, have that pen and paper right beside you. Turn that light on and write, because if you forget it, you'll lose. A lot of times you lose it forever. So sometimes you got to act on impulse, but for the most part, never give up. Always keep creating, keep evolving, and
Absolutely.
don't be scared of the word no. You're gonna get a lot of no's. You're gonna get a lot of people, janky people that you thought that you worked with, that y'all were great, y'all were gonna conquer the world together. And if it doesn't work out, remember it was God's protection. That rejection was God's protection. But sometimes He's just blocking what was not good for you. And I learned that this year, that particular person or whoever I was deemed to work with, they were not good for me. So that rejection was my protection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to close today's show out with today's final thought. But before I give you the final thought, on this day, October 14th, 1964, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made history as the youngest person ever to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Did you guys know that? Also, the final thought comes from him. He says that we may all have come on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. We need to continue to work together these next few couple of days.
Yeah.
Hey, you're back. I was like, what happened to your IG? I was looking for you, love. Glad you're back. Yes, I took a little break. I took a little hiatus after I did my interview with Shades. That interview is up. And that was a pretty good interview. Me and the ladies, we had a very, very good time. So please go and check that out. Shay Shay says, Eugene, you got me crying. I needed to hear this. I've been down about my acting career.
Oh,
So don't get
don't
discouraged.
get
Don't.
discouraged. Just keep going. Keep taking classes. Keep creating. It's just,
Yes. So
um,
I go ahead. I'm sorry you were talking, Eugene.
oh no, I was just reading what she was saying. Um, she said she didn't catch. I think she's talking about me. Didn't catch my name. If she's talking about me, my name is Eugene Bracy. You can add me at ebracy. Is it 8507 on Instagram? Eugene Bracy on Facebook. That's for anybody who's watching or wants to keep up with my content. So Eugene Bracy on Facebook, and it's ebracy07 on Instagram. Yes.
All right. Fashion dolls. Again, 22 days. Make sure that we are looking out for our neighbors. Tim Wall said it best. We got to look out for each other. We got to make sure that we are uplifting each other as Eugene was doing today, and Shay Shay took on to that. So we got to look out for each other, make sure that our neighbors are good. We got to make sure that everybody's good, family, everybody. So we got to stick together. That means reach out. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone, text, call, DM, whatever it may be. We got to work together. I love y'all, fashion dolls. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. We don't celebrate Columbus over here, my loves. But make sure that you guys are staying aware, staying sane, protecting your peace. And more importantly, again, like Tim Wall said, look out for your neighbor. We got to look out for one another. It is not the time for us to be divided. It is time for us to come together. And I'm going to keep plunging that into you guys' heads. Some of you, because the rest of y'all get it. Y'all tune in faithfully, y'all watch, and y'all know I'm all about bringing people together versus separating us, because we've been separated for so long. Why separate? Come together. I love y'all, and joining me tomorrow, Fashion Dolls, we have DC Smith. We have a great lineup this week. We are back, and in case you missed it, like Sunshine said she missed it, my girl, yes, if you guys missed that show with Shades, legendary girl group Shades, please go and check that out. We covered all the history of girl groups, from En Vogue to TLC to Destiny's Child. Great interview. Please go and
Ooh,
check.
I'm gonna look
Definitely
at
go
that
check
one because I
it.
like all those groups.
Oh, they are beautiful. Oh, they were so beautiful, Eugene. They still look amazing, sound amazing. That was a good interview. I had a great time with the ladies. Monique, Tiffany, and Danielle. They are Shades, Shannon, all of them. If you guys haven't checked that one out, it is up. So make
I'm
sure you
gonna go
guys
check
go and
it
check
out.
that out. Yes. And And also, make sure you guys head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube if you have not. You'll be able to catch that interview as well as the other past interviews in case you miss any. Head on over and subscribe. And we are on the road to 700 shows. So thank you guys for your participation, your viewership, your commentary. I love y'all all. And it's important we work together these next few days, you guys. I love y'all, and I want y'all to be safe and take care. And vote Harris Walls. Take care, everyone.